Hey there, Marcus here. I'm gonna talk about a workflow today that I already tried to record actually. Something went wrong with the recording, so I re-record it now. And it's about the SERP plugin, so search engine results page. So basically a plugin that can Google for you, which makes it possible to do a lot of research, fact checking, stuff like that. The workflow I show today is very simple. It's just gonna basically analyze a question and then search for actual answers, so not ask OpenAI the question right away, because OpenAI, as everyone knows, can hallucinate, so it needs context to be trustworthy. And in this case we're gonna create the context via search. As always, what you see in front of you, this is Drupal, open source, free. You can download it afterwards. Download the AI Interpolator modules that I'm gonna show and set this up as easy as it looks here. So I'm gonna start by logging into the system and then create a content type that we call research. As always, if you're gonna do this as a real product or use big data or so on, you should use custom entity types. But in this case, I just want to show how you can graphically via the GUI set up everything. So instead of title, we just call this a question. That's gonna be the question we want answered, basically. There comes a body field with Drupal by default in the nodes, the content types. So we're gonna delete that. That's more for CMS, right? We're gonna start by adding the first field, which is gonna be a text plain, and this is gonna be the search word. And it's just gonna be one search word, right? So that's gonna be the search word we use in Google to find information that might answer the question we're asking. So because we don't want to fill out this manually, because we might not know what we search for, we're gonna use OpenAI for this. So we're gonna use the OpenAI string that takes a string and does something on that string and generates a string. We use base mode and we use the question as the base field. So then we create a prompt here then based on the following question, create a search phrase for Google for finding results that might answer it. Question, and then we're gonna copy context, because that's the context of basically the question we're asking, right? We're gonna run this in batch, so we see the graphical output. Take GPT-4, it's a little bit better quality. Save this, and then comes then the SERP field, and what we need as the field to fill out, we need links. We call these search results, and this can be unlimited, so, or you can set a fixed number. Basically these are the amount of search results you want back, and that can be defined here in the interpolator. Then it's just gonna be external links, no link text is needed, and we enable the AI interpolator here as well, and the rule we want to run is SERP to link. And we say, I don't want it to take too long now, I'm just gonna ask some simple questions. I just want 3 search results, because of course it needs to scrape every page, it needs to analyze every page in OpenAI and so on, so it takes time. But of course, if what you're researching is complex, you should try to get as many search results as possible. You can do search offset, so you can get 10 pages in batches, then start from page from 11th result, start from 21st results, and so on. You can search on use. You can choose which Google to search, which languages, you search with which languages you want to have in the search result and which country you're searching from. We're gonna do this on the base mode, and we're gonna use the search word that we generate then it's important here that we set a higher interpolator weight than the initial query, because we need the search word before we can search, right? And we set batch again. After we have done that, we need to get the actual content from this, so we're going to use text format long, and we call that website content. That's the content we get back from the links. These also have to be, well, as many as the links are. Allow full HTML, enable AI Interpolator, and in this case we're going to use the scraping bot crawler rule, and we're going to use this from the search result, so the links there basically. We can get this from USA. We're going to use Chrome, so use a real browser. We use readability mode, so we say we just want the content that is the actual article, and we have to set this to an even higher weight then, because we have to make sure that the links exist before we can start scraping. And then basically comes the last thing we need, which is a text plain long. That's gonna be the answer, and this is the answer to the initial question based on the scraped content, right? So we're gonna ask OpenAI to answer the question based on the scraped content. We're going to use advanced mode for this. And how we write this then: based on the context, answer the following question in around 3 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs. Question. So what you can do with the advanced mode with tokens then is, of course, that you can basically use multiple inputs, which is what we need in this case. So we find this under nodes, and the question was on the title. That's why you don't see question here. So we take node title for this, and then the context, which is then the website content. This was called, and this is the prompt we're going to use. We have to set an even higher interpolator weight. We do batch, and we take a bigger model in this case, because we don't know how big the context is going to be, so we use a 16K model, so we make sure it fits inside the context. There is one thing I should probably do here as well. Since we're asking for paragraphs, it might actually generate multiple answers and split up each paragraph as one. So this is prompt engineering. Of course, you could write 3 paragraphs in one result set or something, and it would probably work. So you would have to find the best prompt possible there if you want it in just one field. But I just do multiple fields just to make sure that you will see the result at least. And that's it. I'm gonna do another thing. I'm gonna hide the website content from the manage display, so the end output, because that's gonna take up so big space that I have to scroll and you might not know what the actual answer is. So then we add the research, and I have a question here that's very interesting. What is Link's personality in the Zelda games? And you see all the other fields here. Those are the fields now that's gonna be autofilled basically. So I click save. This is gonna take a little bit of a time, because now basically it is generating a search word, searching for this to get the links, scraping those links with a real browser, and in the end asking OpenAI then to answer the question based on the content inside those links. Well, let's see, it didn't actually answer it. Let's just try to resave and it might work. So maybe I set up the order wrong. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. So here we have an answer then. Link's personality in the Zelda games varies depending on the specific game. Yeah, you can see the answer here basically. If we click edit, you can also then see what you saw before, that there's actually scraped content, and this content is then what went into the question to OpenAI. So to make sure basically that it has a context to answer on, meaning that it can answer very well. I'm not going to say truthfully, because of course you should not just trust all the links you find in Google, but the probability of it answering is correctly is a lot higher at least. But as I said, this is a very simple workflow I showed now. If you just flex your creativity muscles, I'm sure you can think of so many more use cases for this. So yeah, thank you for watching.